What's going on, everybody? Kyle Powers here, Haven Real Estate Group at eXp Realty. K-State grad turned contractor, turned real estate agent and investor. Guys, I got a very special guest here with me for our next episode of Local Legends of the Flint Hills, where business meets community. Got Tim Sigle here, and yes, it's Sigle, like Wiggle. Sigle Photography, and he is going to talk to us a little bit about his business and what he's been able to do within our community for the last 16 years-ish, and everything with that one of it. So Tim, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Tim, let's go ahead and jump in it, man. Talk to me about the moment that you decided, I'm going to take pictures for the rest of my life. I'm going to do photography for the rest of my life. Let's talk about that moment.
Yeah, I was in college, and I actually had a teammate that talked to me about a photography class he took for an Easy A. And so I decided to take that class and just actually really started to enjoy it. And then the moment I realized it could be a business for me was when I was flying over the Manhattan Country Club with my dad, and I worked there and took a picture of the country club, and several of the members were interested in a print of that. And it was my first time selling a print, and you know, it really got me excited to see how somebody was excited to put something on their wall that they cared about. And I just at that moment realized it could be a business for me. And so that's where I ended up changing my direction, going to the Art Institute of Colorado.
Very nice. And you said off camera, we talked, you started, or you graduated in 2008, right? That was kind of when you came into that. So you started then and said, okay, I'm going to dive deep into this one. What made you decide you wanted to come back to the Manhattan area?
Yeah, I'd say it's just the sense of community. I grew up in Riley, and my dad taught at Riley County for 33 years. My brother has Manhattan Running Company here in town. And just being around friends and family. And this community is something that has always just supported people. And it just felt great to be at home and being around people that cared about what I was going to be doing and would want to support me and my business.
Yeah, and that's perfect. And I mean, I guess that's a testament to the Manhattan community in itself. I think that's been, one of the reasons why my family and I love it here is for that reason, right? Everybody supports local, they shop local, everything in that. And you guys, you'll see a lot of his stuff. If you are around, Tim has a really great niche of doing landscapes and things that way. And he does a lot of stuff locally of the Flint Hills and I know I've seen him up at the Colbert Hills Golf Course and everything with that side of it. Heck, the print right behind us is one that he's done and does really well with those things. So speaking to that, Tim, let's talk about your niche of what you've been able to create for yourself, right? You came back here to Manhattan, you started this business, you started with this whole thing of it, right? You decided that photography were the direction you were going. What got you into doing what you do with the landscapes?
Yeah, I mean, initially, my dream of photography was to do portrait, kids, family, weddings. And then it just kind of, just over the years, I still enjoyed doing those things. But over the years, I just saw how people were excited about what artwork I was creating and wanted it on their walls or business, home business, hospitals, doctor's offices. And it was just fun to share it in that way, and how the images can just change somebody's attitude. For example, like in a hospital, it can just change their experience of where they're at. They can take their mind somewhere else. So it's just really fun to see the landscape and wildlife go on from there.
What did that progression look like from going from starting in your business with, family photos, headshots, things like that, into this new niche?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big transition point for me was when Gordon Hibbard here in Manhattan asked me. He was the head of Rock Springs, and he asked me to do artwork out there that they could use as gifts for donors. And they really enjoyed it. They got really great use out of it. And it really sparked that interest in being able to give somebody a product that they could hang on their wall and enjoy. And since then, it's my landscape and wildlife side of my business has just really taken off. And it's been a really big focus of mine to help bring the outside in people's homes and businesses.
I've got a question, probably, I don't know, maybe anyone else is that way too, but I've seen there's pictures and photos here that I've seen just laying around your office here. And yes, they are laying around. They're fantastic photos. They need to be on a wall somewhere. But one thing how do you know right place, right time, right? Like there's literally one behind us. There's a bald eagle going in and snagging a fish, right? How do you know right place, right time?
For wildlife, it's just knowing what you're photographing, when the best time of the year is to photograph that thing or that item or that animal, and knowing where it's going to be. Like, for example, like eagles. Like right now, this time of year is phenomenal for eagles because when the lake's all frozen over, the weather's miserable, there's not a lot of places they can get fish. Sure. So they end up at the dam and the tubes where the water's not frozen. There's fish coming through, and it's the place that they can just all morning long dive for fish. So it's just one of those things that you just learn about their habits and capture them.
Years of honing your craft, right?
Sure.
And then, so how did you know? I know there's one that went all over Facebook here recently. I haven't told you about this yet, but it was everyone on Facebook was like, "Who's that person out there taking professional photos of the elk and everything else that way?" How did you know about them coming on that side?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times on that, like somebody sent me a text saying, "Hey, did you see Britt's post saying there's elk out there?" And so it was actually a snow day. My wife was home. She's a second grade teacher in Manhattan. And so we're like, well, let's hop in the car and go check it out. And so once we got there, I put my lens and camera together and kind of just found the right angle, found the way I want to shoot it, and captured it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit. I know that we've got, and literally as we're looking around the room here, I've seen sizes from big to the size behind us, right? If, let's say, someone watching this video, right, they want to come contact you, they want to look at what else you have available, what size of prints, where does that kind of range from, and what can they expect?
Yeah, really the options are endless. All the way from 4x6, 5x7 up to, I've done prints that are 54 inches wide by 196 tall. I mean, just every space is so different. And what's really neat is I have a program that can actually show you what the artwork's going to look like on your wall before you purchase anything. And really, I can tell somebody all day long it's going to look great in their space, but it's fun to be able to allow them to pick out their favorite images and be able to show them what it's going to look like over their staircase, what it's going to look like over their couch or in their kitchen or wherever it might be, business, conference room, whatever. And you can actually see it before it's purchased. And it's so much fun to see that. And then once it's installed, how identical it looks to what it was. So really that process is a lot of fun for me to be able to sit down with somebody, take a picture of their wall, show them what it looks like, and we also do installation. So we do everything from shooting, printing, and installing for you. Perfect.
So you just reminded me of something here, and I think it's a big thing that by doing these interviews and talking to a lot of people, you've got a passion for this stuff, right? You've got a passion for the photography piece of it, whether it be landscape, wildlife, family photos. I'm looking at magazine prints that I know that you're featured in. Where does that come from, and what does that look like?
The passion is just really capturing that moment, and it's exciting to be able to help somebody put it on their wall. I mean, to me, that's probably the most exciting part about it. I love in-home consultations. I love helping them capture that moment that it's something special to them. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, like the wheat field behind us. There's something special. If you're from Kansas, there's something special about harvest time. You growing up in the country, whatnot. It's just a special time of the year. And there's so many people that I work with that like this image behind me because it reminds them of their childhood, being in the combine with their dad, working out on the farm, or just experiencing that throughout our lives in Kansas. That's where the passion comes from, is really being able to help somebody get something that is special to them.
And I'll tell you, I mean, again, I know you guys can only see the one photo behind me, but there are multitude of them here in this office that we're in, and he does a fantastic job with the work that you do. I mean, again, it shows, and everything that I'm looking at, all the prints and everything around us, like, it shows that he does a fantastic job. Heck, I'm looking at even the photos from last night's game was fantastic too, right? So I think that's a lot of, like I said, I think it shows in a lot of your work there. So again, I appreciate the job that you do there. So
yeah, I mean, we have it's constantly growing. I have over 750 Kansas landscape, wildlife, city scenes from Manhattan, different communities around Manhattan. It's just constantly growing. I'm always out shooting. If I'm not working with a customer, I'm out trying to create. It's just one of those things. It's really exciting to be able to find, you know, for example, like the Flint Hills, to see how they roll and just like they stack together.
Yeah,
it's fun to go find those places and be able to capture it and be able to share it with people.
Yeah. Which brings up a good point. Where can somebody go? Anybody watching this video, either today or in the future, where do they go to see your gallery of the 750 landscapes and everything that comes with that? Where can they go see those?
Yeah, I'm constantly sharing things on Instagram and Facebook. If you want to see what I'm doing from a day-to-day or week-to-week basis, or you can go to siglephoto.com, and as soon as I shoot something, I try to upload it to my website. So if there's something new, it's hopefully up on there. But on Facebook and Instagram, it's kind of the constant reel. So like today, I'll be posting game images from the K-State KU game last night that I shot. So that's one of the main places you can see things. And then if you want to look at inventory, you can siglephoto.com. And then if you see something on there, they can send me a message by email, call me, whatever, and just set up a consultation if they want to do an in-home consultation to see what it looks like on their wall, or just about anything.
What's your Instagram handle and Facebook?
Sigle Photography.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Perfect. So the process then, what does that process look like? So they go online, they look at your photos, they say, okay, cool, I like these. I want to go purchase one of these, or do they reach out to you via email, phone number? What does that look like? Talk us through that whole process.
Yeah, so you can look on my website, you can order on my website, but my favorite thing that I get to do, like we've talked about, is showing it what it would look like on somebody's wall.
Sure.
So one-on-one is always fun to do, and then if we can email back and forth on Facebook or email or text, and do it through that process, or we can do it in person, or like I said, they can order off my website, and we can drop, if they're not in the Manhattan area, we can drop ship it straight to you, or we can deliver if you're in the Manhattan region. Within 100 miles, we can install for you. Also, if it's something that they want us to have installed.
There you go. You have it there. So, Tim, I want to say again, man, I appreciate you jumping on here with me today. Guys, what I will tell you is, I know you can only see the one behind me, but there are so many. And if you are local to Manhattan, you'll see them all over the place. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, there's always the Tim Sigle logo or signature on it all. But you can see his artwork up at Colbert Hills. You can see it in the hospitals around the area. You can see a lot of his landscape, a lot of his work in that side of it. And so you'll see the passion, the work that comes out of that. And I think it is fantastic, right? Again, I want to talk to it too, that he does landscapes. He loves that piece of it, but will do family photography, headshots, whatever that looks like. He does a fantastic job, puts the same amount of care within that. And then you'll also see him in a lot of local magazines and things that come with that as well. So, Tim, before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to add to today?
I don't think so. I really appreciate you having me on, and this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, man, I appreciate it. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Really, really do appreciate it. If you do have anybody who's interested in something that Tim's got here, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. So please, please, please share this video with them. Show them Tim's website. We'll put it in the comments or in the description below. Make sure we get you taken care of there. And again, go check out his stuff, right? Again, there's so many fantastic shots that he's got. Again, 750 pieces of artwork, pieces of photos that he has has availability that you can look at. And I'm talking from wildlife to barns to landscapes and anything in between. So go check that out. And again, if you have someone who is interested in his work, please share this video with them. Have them reach out to Tim and get in touch with them. If you guys would like to see anything else, put it in the comments below too. Love to have some information for you from there. As always, if you do like these videos and you enjoy this content, go and hit that subscribe button. Go and hit that little bell so you get notified of any future content. And please give us that like, share this video, help us grow this channel so we can kind of work on this side of it. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Local Legends of the Flint Hills, where business meets community. And you can't get any more community than Tim Sigle right here. So again, Tim, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.